How's it going, guys? Let's talk Springboks versus Italy. Now, before this video ends, I want to give you guys who I feel should start for the Springboks to make sure that we don't have a similar issue like we had in the first test, where we actually ended up conceding more points than what we scored. Although it did look like a dominant performance, the second half, the Springboks crumbled, right? So obviously Italy are a very good squad, but I want to give my thoughts on that, look into Rassie's future plans and how we can potentially win. Now, before I continue, please like and subscribe. It really does help the channel grow. And let's break this down. So, first up today, as I was doing a little bit of doom scrolling, as we all as we all love to do, I came across Super Sports selector's choice or something like that, and it was an image that showed I think it's from all the fans choosing who should play in the next test for the Springboks. And I looked at the squad and I was like, yo, this is pretty much what I was going to choose. So it actually saved me a lot of time in terms of editing and finding bloody images and things like that. So I thought, you know what, I'm just going to throw this up and I'm going to give you guys my potential replacements, because a majority of these players are pretty much the squad that I had written down, but just with a couple changes. So let me know what you guys think. I want to hear what your guys' selection choices are and who you would have in their place, right? So let's break it down. In terms of the front pack, they have Wessels, Mbonambi, and Thomas du Toit. Now, I'm pretty much happy with a lot of this, with slight changes. I love Thomas du Toit, and I love Wessels, but I do feel Bongi, he didn't exactly have the best impact in the last game, so I don't know about starting him. I would love to give this to Martinus van der Merwe. Martinus, I feel he will add that same level of talent, not experience, but he's so talented. He's such a big hooker as well, and you know, he's definitely something that's going to cause the Italians a lot of problems. And then yeah, let's put Bongi on the bench, or we could potentially have Malcolm Marx as well. Bongi is getting into the back end of his career, so honestly, I'm gonna leave Bongi out on this one, and I'm gonna be giving Martinus van der Merwe the starting spot, and then I'm gonna have Malcolm Marx on the bench to come on as an impact player with the bomb squad around the 50th minute. But otherwise, Wessels, van der Merwe, du Toit, I feel this is a very strong pack, very heavy, very agile as well, and will be able to do wonders. We can't play Oxenche all day, every day, as much as I would love to do it. He's only human, right? So changes needed to be made, and Rassie, I don't believe he's going to end up playing more, having players play more than like 10 games through the year. So there's going to be a lot of emphasis on rotation, on player management, resting, because these players are human at the end of the day. You cannot expect them to go through a full season of rugby and then still continue on through the rest of the year, just you know, with more rugby and more rugby. They need time to sit down. So yeah, that's going to be my front three. In terms of my lock pairing, I wasn't very confident with Louis de Jager. I felt he was pretty lackluster, and honestly, I think I'm gonna go Ibn Etzebeth, Franco Mostert, and then having Archie Snyman on the bench. Obviously, they have gone Etzebeth and Snyman to start, Mostert on the bench. Honestly, either way, it's good. It's my preference to have Archie Snyman come on with the bomb squad and just absolutely destroy and wreck shop. So that would be my choice. In terms of my back row, nailed it. They got it spot on. Sia Khaleesi coming back, The one thing that I feel the Springboks were missing was that dog, that monster, that that scavenger. He just wants to get at it. He wants to be at the breakdown. He wants to be fighting for everything. He wants to jackal the life out of the Italians. And it's that energy, it's that ferocity that you get from Sia Khaleesi that I feel they were missing quite heavily. And then Pieter Steph du Toit, like, is there anything that can be said that hasn't been said about Pieter Steph du Toit? No. That guy is, in my opinion, the best 7 in the world. Like, straight up world rugby. The guy is phenomenal. And then Cobus Visa, honestly, I think he is exactly what South Africa needed at an 8. He put in a number 8's performance. He showed everybody what it means. I really enjoyed Visa, his performance. I feel he's going to get the start again. And again, he's that dog. He's that fighter for everything. And I think this little partnership here will put a lot of pressure on the Italians. And I think we can really take this game away relatively early instead of, really, really struggling. Even though in the first game, South Africa, they were pretty good in the first half. It was the second half where things started to go sour. But having a pair like this, I feel they could just take it away. Now, in terms of the halfback pairing, they have gone with Reinach and Libbok. Now, I am not set on this. I'm not a big fan of Libbok. I do still have nightmares of the Rugby World Cup. Given during play, Libbok is phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal in play. It just comes down to dead ball situations, which I'm not 100% confident with him. Right, so I'm not the biggest fan of Libbok. I wouldn't say I'm against him, but just don't give him any dead balls, please. Like, no penalties. Just no penalties. But honestly, in terms of this pairing, I wouldn't have it. I would actually give it to Grant Williams and Sasha. So ultimately, pretty much the opposite of what they have. So they have Grant Williams and Sasha on the bench, and then Reinach and Libbok starting. I would have it the opposite way. Morne van den Berg, he's been phenomenal at 9. He needs rest, and I feel Rassie is going to rest him. Right now, he's probably my favorite 9 for the Springboks, but it's going to come with time. But, yeah. What I do like about Grant Williams as well is he has a good amount of versatility. So he can play the scrum half, but he can also play on the wing. Now, I think he's only played right wing 5 times, left wing 2 times. He does have that ability. He's so quick. And for scrum half, he is lightning fast. So, yeah, that's just my opinion there. But otherwise, I mean, in general, it's phenomenal. In terms of my wingers, they have gone Mapimpi and Van der Merwe. Honestly, I'm not upset with that. I'm not upset with that. Honestly, I'd probably give my 11 to Kane Moody. I enjoy Kane Moody, but I love Mapimpi. So this one is actually one that I was kind of half on, half off about. I really wasn't certain on who I was going to end up picking. My brain led me to Kane Moody. But Mapimpi is just such a strong runner of the ball. And I think that kind of physicality is going to be what's needed up against the Italians. So I'm going to kind of keep this as it is, with Van der Merwe and Mapimpi on the wings. I actually do kind of like this, like this wing pairing. In terms of the centers, they have gone Esterhuizen and Kriel. Again, I have no issues with this either. I really don't have any issues with this. There are a lot of players that can fill in these spaces, but Andre Esterhuizen, he was such a He was such a revelation at club level. He is a big leader on the field, and then having that plus Jesse Creel, I think that would be absolutely, absolutely phenomenal. I really, really, really do. But there is one player who I can't. I'm not certain if he's been called off or not. But Ethan Hooker, I want to see Ethan Hooker play for the Springboks. He's such a versatile player as well. You know, he can play on the wings, both wings. He can play in the center as well, so he can offer a lot of a lot of versatility. He can add a lot of options as well. But yeah, I just feel Ethan Hooker would do an absolutely smashing job. So for me, if it's not Van der Merwe, I want to give it to Ethan Hooker. But off the top of my head now, I can't remember if he's been if he's still with the squad. But otherwise, Van der Merwe, Ethan Hooker, I'm happy either way. Either way. And then my 15, Willie Leroux. I'm giving that straight to Willie Leroux. They put Afilele Fassi on the bench. I'm happy with that. I do feel Willie Leroux, he's getting so close to that 100 mark. You know, I would love to see what they're gonna do for Leroux once he hits that mark. It's going to be absolutely phenomenal, because I think they did something amazing for Eben Etzebeth when he reached that mark. So cannot wait to see Willie Leroux hit that mark, and just, it's going to be fantastic. Absolutely, absolutely fantastic. Their bench, they have Malcolm Marx, Oxenche, Nhlaba Kanye, Franco Marstert, Kwagga Smith, Grant Williams, Sasha, and then Afilele Fassi. Obviously, depending on rotation, I'm more than happy with this. This, like I say, this is a majority of the squad is actually what I would end up choosing anyway, just with slight tweaks. So let me know what you guys think, because Rassie, he's very much someone for rotation. He wants to give that bit of experience. He wants to give a little bit of rotation, but he also doesn't want to disrespect the teams, because he understands the moment you start to underestimate teams, Italy happens in the second half. And Italy came back. I think at one point they were within 10 points of South Africa in the second half. And that was a scary moment. Now, of course, it's only for a South African to say, after the Springboks had scored 6 tries, one with 40-odd points, that it wasn't the best performance. It's me being very critical of the Springboks, considering, but the Italians are showing a Springbok weakness that teams later on in the year will pick up on, and they will keep poking at it until it's raw and red and just shouting you in your face. So a lot of holes need to be filled, but I also do believe rotation needs to happen. So this is my squad. Let me know what you guys think. Please like and subscribe as always, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.